The situation was dire. Akira Toriyama was at a crossroads. The only words he could use to describe his new manga Dragon Ball, made to follow up his massively successful previous manga Dr. Slump, was, the series hadn't been all that popular. You see, while Dragon Ball may be an iconic household name today, it almost ended right here, with a perverted talking pig wishing for a pair of girls' panties from a nigh omnipotent magical dragon. Toriyama was prepared to pay off the hunt for the Dragon Balls with a gag and call it a day, because the goal of the manga had been reached. The titular Dragon Balls had been collected. The genie, or in this case the dragon, had been let out of its bottle, and because of that, it was doubtful readers would be interested in another Dragon Ball hunt. Plus, the series had simply failed to gain much momentum anyway. And so, Dragon Ball would end with just 23 chapters to its name. But then Toriyama stubbornly decided to persist, spurned by his editor, Kazuhiko Torishima, who told him the reason why the series wasn't popular was because the main protagonist was just too boring and plain. But this conclusion annoyed Toriyama, who decided to seek inspiration from said boring protagonist in order to breathe new life into Dragon Ball. But to do so, he had to figure out just who was Son Goku. Besides being inspired by Son Wukong from Journey to the West, Astro Boy, and martial arts films like Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon, besides being as naive and pure of heart as he was strong, what did this character say to Toriyama? Well, soon enough, Toriyama would find his answer, and it would turn Goku into an anime icon which would change the very foundation of shonen battle manga. This answer would reflect Goku perfectly, being simple yet powerful, as stated by Toriyama himself. When I had designed Goku's character, the words that best represented him were, "I want to become strong." This is how Goku became the driving force of Dragon Ball. The simple but engaging goal of the story's protagonist is so core to his being that Dragon Ball's evolution from an adventure gag manga to redefining the foundation of shonen battle manga decades since felt so right and so natural. But this isn't all there is to Goku. As equally important as his desire to get stronger is his philosophy to life, or as Toriyama would put it, his philosophy in death. I was saved by Goku as a character. Even when he dies, he's like, well, whatever. It's this carefree attitude that sustains Goku's pure-hearted nature. No matter what hardships and trials come his way, he faces them head-on with a determined smile, keeping him grounded to the monkey boy from all the way back in the story's very first chapter. This is the creation of an icon. This is why there will never be another Son Goku. This overt simplicity to Goku is why so many people miss the forest for the trees when trying to understand his appeal as a protagonist. Some just see his title as one of the strongest characters in anime history, and so will dub other newer, overpowered characters like Saitama and Gojo as this generation's new Goku, which actually does a disservice not just to Goku himself, but to the characters he's being compared to. Take Saitama, who's closer to a parody of Goku than anything else. One makes fun of a shonen battle manga trope which Dragon Ball is infamous for. This is when characters break their limits and attain godlike strength through relatively mundane training regimens. Saitama's hilarious 100 press-ups, sit-ups, and 10-kilometer run per day is making fun of things like Goku gaining leg strength to jump through the clouds and push house-sized boulders after training with, and I shit you not, 20 kilogram and 40 kilogram turtle shells respectively. Meanwhile, Gojo, being this literally untouchable demigod who walks among men, is a defining feature of his character. From when he was a child, he knew he was just built different to everyone around him. The linchpin of the antagonist's plans always center around sealing Gojo because he is just so powerful. It's the reason why certain manga events in Jujutsu Kaisen have been so shocking. Although just like Goku, there is one opponent Gojo cannot defeat: the racism allegations. Okay, seriously, this untouchable status levied at Gojo and Saitama in their respective series does not stick with Goku and never really has. Now, don't get me wrong here, Goku does indeed solo both, but what Goku's role in Dragon Ball's narrative is that he must continue to struggle in order to continue to get stronger. While Goku is revered by his allies as their best bet, his victory is never quite assured. As far back as the 21st Budokai, Toriyama had Goku lose, to show that yes, he can be humbled and beaten, but he would get back up and continue striving for greatness. Even when Goku looked untouchable for the 23rd Budokai and was at his most competent relative to the rest of the cast, with an ending so climactic, Toriyama had to reassure readers that Dragon Ball was still going. He then turned his life upside down, had him get one-shotted by his long-lost brother, and then killed him off all in the space of a few chapters. Sayonara Son Goku indeed. But like Toriyama said, Goku got over it and was excited to see that even in death he could get stronger, and then proceeded to run over 1 million kilometers for almost half a year straight. This is the appeal of Son Goku. Despite how strong he is still a struggler who wants to do right by others while bettering himself, just like the rest of us. See, he's not Goku because he's strong because he is Goku. 4 other characters inspired by Goku in more substantial ways, such as Luffy and Naruto, you can see the Goku in their personalities. Not to mention Naruto straight up took Goku's Super Saiyan color palette, and I just have to mention this drawing Oda did of Goku and Luffy, wherein Goku and Luffy look identical to each other. Truly as endearing as it is nightmare-inducing. However, what I do find curious is that when each of these similar anime icons entered what can only be described as godhood, what makes Goku such a unique, relatable protagonist still shines through. While Gear 5 Luffy and Sage of Six Paths Naruto came into being with a whole rhetoric of godly reincarnations and messianic prophecies to save the world that the protagonists had just kinda partially stumbled into in order to satisfy narratives that are admittedly more complex than Dragon Ball's. But Dragon Ball's simplicity works to its benefit, as it's primarily concerned with Goku's path to power as its narrative driving force. Toriyama had Goku's reaction to needing a ritual, assistance from others in order to enter a new domain of divine power as...
It's not the power, it's what it took to get it and what that means. It's a level of strength I can't reach on my own.
He was unsatisfied because it wasn't power he had attained with his own 2 hands, and when Goku continued to delve into the realm of the gods, he did so on his own terms, through his own strength, not to become a godly savior to others, but to get stronger. Goku's only dream is to defeat the Goku that existed yesterday. As a martial artist, he fights not to truly defeat others, but to actually defeat himself. This admittedly somewhat selfish aspect of Goku is the poison that Toriyama wrote him with, which ultimately grounds Goku as a character. Meanwhile, say Luffy has become a literal Looney Tunes character, meanwhile Naruto has become this ninja Jesus president whatever. But I'm going to be honest here, I don't know much of what Naruto is up to currently because I'm probably never going to read or watch Boruto. But I am getting too far ahead of myself here. Forget God Key, forget blue hair, forget red hair. In order to delve into what makes Goku such a compelling protagonist, we have to take it back to where it all began and talk about the most iconic anime transformation of all time. Let's talk about that time Goku's transformation was indeed tied to a prophecy. Let's talk about the Super Saiyan.
It's over, Frieza!
Besides being a transformation that led to anime's most cathartic beatdown, what does Super Saiyan Goku actually represent? What does it say about the character? Well, it answers a question that a simple-minded character like Goku has never bothered to ask himself: who am I? As throughout all his life, he knew that he was Son Goku and that he wanted to get stronger, but then he meets his brother Raditz, who tells him that his name is actually Kakarot and that he wants to get stronger because he is a Saiyan. He's then told that to be a Saiyan is to act in a way that is antithetical to who he is. Sure, they like to fight, but Saiyans are cowardly, vindictive, evil, and enjoy harming innocents, the exact opposite of Son Goku. After witnessing this firsthand, with undeniable proof that he is indeed a Saiyan, this creates an imbalance within him. An imbalance he carries until he is pushed to his breaking point and must ascend to the highest level of what a Saiyan is, and in turn the highest level of who he is, as he proudly proclaims with no trepidation or hesitation,
I am the Super Saiyan, Son Goku!
His power undeniably that of the legendary Super Saiyan, but his heart still that of Son Goku. He takes mercy on Frieza because there is nothing to be gained defeating someone who has already lost to themselves. But he is pushed to do so anyway. His heart was awakened by fury, but his heart was still that of Son Goku. And nobody, no relative, no prophecy could take away who he truly is. God, the Namek Saga is just so fucking peak. Super Saiyan is so peak. I swear I will make like an hour-long video breaking down the Namek Saga sometime this year. I promise. So with such a character moment, arguably the most powerful in the franchise, it would be almost impossible to move on from Goku as the story's protagonist. And ironically, Toriyama would prove this from an in-universe and out-universe perspective, as the Android Saga tells a story wherein Goku died of a heart virus and the entire world goes to shit, leaving Gohan to fill his father's shoes as essentially the new Goku. But unfortunately, he's not up to the task and tragically dies. Even Bulma comments that without Goku, the world lost its spark of hope. Then later on in the story, Goku dies again against Cell, leaving Gohan to succeed him as the story's protagonist. But Toriyama couldn't commit to this, even though he gave Goku the perfect ending to his path to power, as ultimately, Goku is Dragon Ball. But this is a double-edged sword, and why modern Goku doesn't feel quite right. To see him regress and relearn lessons he had learnt literal decades prior feels like it's damaging a legacy, backpedaling on the Dragon Ball story already told, trying to recapture the impossible.
So what is this, Super Saiyan with blue hair dye?
It's a little...
You see, there's more to an icon like Goku than just a great character design and a set of characteristics. icons also represent a moment in time. A moment in time they grew with their audience. A moment in time they created the first generation of fans. A moment in time they inspired a new era of creators. In the case of Goku, this is a moment in time immortalized in the 519 chapter Dragon Ball manga written by and drawn by Akira Toriyama, which ended perfectly with Goku taking all that he had learnt on his journey to teach someone new. In those final pages of Dragon Ball, in Oob, we can see every person who's ever been inspired by Goku, every person who's been touched by Dragon Ball. Maybe that's why Toriyama was so excited about Dragon Ball Daima, as in a way it presented a way to continue Goku's story in a more light-hearted direction with a greater focus on humor and world building, just like how Dragon Ball was before it began to focus on Goku's path to power as its narrative driving force. I for one can't wait to see it. Perhaps this will be a new basis for a new Goku for a new generation of fans. A new moment in time. On that note, for me, I was so young when I started watching Dragon Ball Z that for me, Goku literally was Dragon Ball Z. That and I was so young and stupid that I thought his name was Dragon Ball Z. But anyway, I was so young that I had nostalgia for the Saiyan saga, Goku vs Vegeta, when I was 10 years old, man. Dragon Ball, man, it's in a league of its own. It's what put me on the path to becoming a lifelong anime fan. And without this channel, The Cage would not exist. So thank you, Toriyama. There will never be another you. There will never be another Dragon Ball. And there will never be another Son Goku. Thank you for watching. So hey, maybe I could interest you in another video wherein I yap about what makes Goku such a compelling protagonist. In this video over here, I talk about why the Kamehameha became the most iconic attack in anime, no, fictional history. So to know more about the genius of the Kamehameha and how it was used in the Dragon Ball's narrative, click this video over here. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and stay locked into The Cage. Peace out.